Hey there, PRHS. I'm Xander Brown, and I'm here with Chris Comeau, wrestling extraordinaire. Now tell me, Chris, why do you choose to do wrestling?
Well, I chose to do wrestling my sophomore year, actually, probably because it's one of the toughest sports you can play. You get in really good shape, and on top of that, it teaches you how to work hard, never give up, and it really shows you how it pays off. And it's a life sport, kind of like football, like I play in the fall. It's an individual sport to a certain extent, but there's a lot of teamwork involved. Even the JV makes a huge impact on the wrestling team by practicing in the room and making sure everybody gives 100%.
Now, I know you're the captain of the wrestling team, along with who else?
David Waterbury is also the captain.
Okay, you and David Waterbury, all right. So it sounds like you guys have a pretty tight team that's going on right now. How do you think that happens? What bonds you guys together?
Well, just being in that room after school every day, working harder than most kids want to. We come into the room not really knowing each other. By the end of the year, we're like brothers, and we fight like brothers, and but we also protect each other like brothers, and it's pretty good.
That's really nice, that's really nice. Now, personally, I'm only interested in one thing about wrestling, and that's what's the worst injury you've ever gotten?
The worst injury I've ever gotten from wrestling is my shoulder. I got my shoulder torn. I actually have nerve damage, but that's just you get in these awkward positions, and you can choose to continue to fight, or you can choose to let it go, and that's usually what happens.
Now, on the other side, what's the worst injury you've ever given to somebody?
Worst injury I've ever given, probably the same thing, another shoulder injury, because like I said, it's just those awkward positions you get tangled up in, and people, a lot of joint injuries. I've seen a lot of knee, a lot of elbow injuries, not very many concussions.
Now, you said you started wrestling sophomore year, right?
Yes.
So, would you like to keep going with this into college and maybe beyond that?
Yeah, wrestling's definitely a sport I'm going to miss. At the same time, I'm planning on going to UNH next year, and they have a wrestling club, but I don't know if I'll continue on after high school.
Wow, that's cool.
I know David will.
David Waterbury, yes,
David
so we talked about
continue,
him. Now, it sounds like you guys work pretty hard out there. So, how have you been doing this season? Particularly good? Particularly bad?
Yeah, we actually were 10. We were state champs this year, which makes 10 state championships for the women's wrestling team.
Wow, wow.
We had 9 wrestlers, I believe, go to the meet of champions, and we had David Waterbury and Greg Waterbury qualify for the New England championships, which was pretty good. It was a very good year.
That's incredible. Now, are there any up-and-coming guys, like freshmen and sophomores, that you think could really carry this team?
I'd like to look towards Sam Slaughter. This was actually his first year as a sophomore. He came in being a basketball player his whole life, and he actually did very well. And definitely, he's going to be one of the better wrestlers.
Yeah, I know that kid. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now, are there any really crazy stories that you have from being on the wrestling team? I know it can get pretty heated, as you said. The fights can get pretty intense. So, is there any one match that you remember just out of all the other ones?
For me personally, the one match I'll remember, it was my last match at the Division III States, the Constellation Finals for 3rd and 4th. I went into the tournament seeded 6th and ended up finishing 3rd. But I ended up winning my last match against a kid who had beaten me 15-0 in the beginning of the season, so it was kind of a great match for me. And I was losing 8-4 with 20 seconds left, and ended up throwing a headlock and winning in the last 20 seconds, which was great.
That's pretty incredible, yeah. Now, finally, just to wrap things up here, what does it mean to you to be a PRHS athlete? We ask this to all of our people.
I mean, it means a lot. It means a lot in the sense that you're part of something great. There's a small group of people that play sports and have gone through Plymouth High School, and there's an even smaller group that play 3 sports and get the opportunities I have to be a state champ like I have in wrestling. So.
All right, Chris, thanks for coming down. I'm Xander Brown, and this is the Bobcat Hot Seat. See you next time, PRHS.